Welcome, everybody, to the Backstaged podcast. This is episode 4. Um, I am here, your host, Dev, followed with...
Cole, what's up?
Sam,
And then
I think
Sam,
that's your...
yeah.
I'm Sam.
And then Sam. We talk about this every time and it never goes
We
well.
always
Never
It's
goes
fine.
well.
screwed up. And I'm Bean Woida.
So today, I would think that we shouldn't start with how the fuck is the world doing with this pandemic, but let's start on a lighter note. Sandwiches. The art of sandwich making.
The art of sandwich making.
I think there is a specific art to sandwich making, and there's a good way to do it and a bad way to do it, and we're gonna find out the perfect sandwich today.
Have you been inspired? What's the change?
Where's this coming from?
I made like In-N-Out style smash burgers the other day.
Yeah.
And it dude, sandwiches are just amazing.
I will say, it feels like a burger and a sandwich are slightly... Like, I know concept
They're
is...
squares.
But a burger is like a whole different conversation almost.
They're squares.
Well, yeah, it's all the same. I mean, a hot dog's a fucking sandwich.
Oh, dude,
We're not
don't
talking
start
about
this
that.
right now. Don't do this.
I mean, a hot dog is a sandwich. I'm on Dev's team, but...
Oh, I think so too.
I am on Dev's team as well, but it just
Oh,
creates
man, alright.
It just
Wow, we
creates
all
a very big.
unanimous.
It creates a very big debate.
It's a polarizing sort of thing.
Is soup
Man, we
cereal?
gotta do something to go viral.
That's a good one. Is soup cereal?
Is soup cereal?
I think it's more like, is cereal a soup?
Either way, dude. Potato.
Is oatmeal
I feel
a
like
biscuit at that point?
soup is the more overarching term.
I feel like oatmeal would be a busk.
A
biscuit?
bisque?
A bisque, yeah, whatever.
A busk. You've been in this
See,
industry
oatmeal,
too long.
oatmeal is more
You
like
start
a
calling it a busk.
I think oatmeal is more of a chowder.
Alright, anyways, back to sandwiches.
Sure.
There are a couple things I want to hit on, right? So,
Uh-huh.
A, you always gotta toast the bread, right?
Yeah.
For every
No one-
sandwich, even cold sandwiches?
Even cold sandwiches, bro, toast the bread. It adds so much flavor and texture.
I guess I'm thinking of long subs, in which I do not want a long toasty sub. But
Really? You don't want that like little bit of
I'm curious
browning
about
on
your
it?
pillars. Don't let me.
Okay,
interrupt.
okay. Alright. So, toasted bread, right? You gotta make some kind of tangy sauce. And usually when I make sauces for sandwiches, it's like whatever sauce I have in the fridge, mix it all together, and it's pretty fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I think
That's
I
another
think
dressing I've had.
yeah, the key that I found is putting a little bit of like chopped pickles or pickle brine in it to give it some acidity, and it really
Whoa.
tops it off. Oh, and these are all things you probably have in your fridge.
Yeah. Wow,
and
we're getting
then-
a good show now, boy.
Oh, dude, cheese. Do you guys
I
I
like?
have some strong cheese opinions.
I do too.
No, I actually
think-
don't like cheese.
Really?
I don't like
That-
a lot of cheese.
That I
I'm-
feel
I'm-
is a strong cheese opinion. But
Yes.
I'm starting to get on the cheese train. I like basic cheeses. I just can't eat cheese plain like so many people.
Yeah. Okay. All I'm saying is don't put fucking Kraft singles on your sandwiches, man. There's so
that
many
is
better
fine.
things
Unless
out there.
your sandwich.
Unless it's a grilled cheese or a cheeseburger. Melted
no.
American
There
cheese.
are
slices
there
are
are
all
better alternatives to the Kraft single.
Yes.
I don't know, man. American cheese melts really well.
Well,
Cole, you deserve better than a Kraft single.
this is why you
Dude.
don't like cheese, bro.
Well, it depends if you want cheese for texture or flavor.
But like
Texture Kraft single.
Yeah.
there are other
There are
melting
cheeses that melt just
cheeses.
as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Kraft singles
yeah.
also are the
Or, I
only
mean,
cheeses
even-
that hold their shape. If you put
Like
them on
even
a
go to the
burger,
grocery store and get some white American that has a better flavor and melts just as
Or
well.
just like some good old cheddar or Gruyere or Gouda melts really well, I think.
I do love
Munster
Gouda.
also melts.
I also like Munster.
Yeah,
yes.
Munster melts really well. All right,
Yeah.
anyways, so you got a cheese, right? Sorry. And then you put your meat. Do you put your meat on top or below your cheese?
On
Cheese
top.
goes on top of meat, and then
Depends on how I'm making the
I
sandwich.
put
We have
I
a
put-
lot of variables to talk about.
yeah,
I
I
know.
put meat on top.
Okay.
oh no cheese because when you I guess I'm thinking grilled cheese context. The cheese is supposed to drape over
Yeah,
anything.
if it's Oh no, grilled cheese.
Presentation-wise, I agree with you, Ben. I just wanted to pull the audience.
Yeah, I just think it's a better. You're right. It's definitely a presentation thing. Yeah.
And then I've always struggled with this, but like, do you put your toppings on the top half of your sandwich or on the bottom half?
When you say toppings and you're not including meat and cheese, you're talking about like
lettuce, tomato.
Like
mayo
lettuce,
or-
tomato,
topping.
not sauces, like actual sustenance.
See, that's
like,
interesting. 'Cause I think cheese
Again.
and meat should always be tied together.
Mhm.
Or usually are tied together.
Yeah, it really depends on the sandwich. I think
This is
I'm getting
all
really
sandwich
sticky.
context.
Yeah, we're getting pretty sticky in the weeds here.
I know.
We are.
Because from what I've understood, like anytime you go to a restaurant, all the toppings are on top of the sandwich,
Yeah.
on top of the meat and
They
cheese,
are
right?
called topping.
Right. It goes meat, cheese, and then everything in between top bun.
Yeah.
And like top bun always has whatever sauce or mayo or whatever they're putting on the sandwich.
What I don't understand is every time I've eaten a burger or a sandwich or anything along that line, when the toppings are on the top, they always like explode out or the meat slides out from the middle. You know what I mean? When you get to
got
the end
too
of it.
slippery a sandwich.
Yeah, and my whole thing that I've been trying to figure out recently is how do I prevent that? How do I stop that from happening? So I've been playing. I'm like, do you put toppings on the bottom? Or do you just like
Can I
split it
Copy.
50-50?
So you think order is the problem?
I think order is
Can
the
I tell you
problem, yeah.
what'll help you?
Holding your sandwich with your pinkies, my man.
You gotta get the biggies involved.
You
you
do.
need smaller toppings.
Smaller toppings.
Yeah.
So
everything needs to be homogeneous, and you
Okay.
need a little more bread in one way or another. Whether that's
Mm.
less stuff or just larger bread.
Mhm.
Because a big slice of tomato is delicious,
But it just
But-
slides around.
it's going to slide around because it has
Yeah.
so much moisture. But that said, I eat tomato sandwiches, in which case everything else is to serve the tomato.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cause like, what was I about to say? I definitely have a problem with overstuffing my sandwiches. I think
Yes.
it's all about portion control, right? But like when I'm making a sandwich and I'm hungry as shit, I'm gonna put everything in there, and I don't want to waste ingredients. So if I like chop enough lettuce, I want to put all that fucking lettuce in there, cause you know
But
I can
also
always
do
chop some
something
more.
Making 2 sandwiches.
Ooh,
Yeah, or saving the
ooh,
lettuce for something later.
this is true.
It depends on how well those ingredients keep. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did make I made more pulled pork, but I ran out of cabbage to make a quick slaw. And I love cold slaw. I fucking love it. I think it should be in
Yeah.
every single fucking sandwich. It's so good. There's so much texture to it, flavor, especially if
Do
it's
you
like
use
a.
mayo or vinegar? If you use
I
mayo,
use
I'm against you. If you use vinegar, I'm all for it.
I use
Lately, I've been
both.
mixing them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
use both. I use
I think
mayo.
both are equally appropriate.
I use
in a
mayo to get
coleslaw.
it like creamy, and then I put a little bit of vinegar for like a bite. You know, the acid of it.
I like I think it's like North Carolina style. I think.
Yes.
Like
On
Midwest
like
style.
a barbecue.
Yeah,
like a
Midwest
pulled pork
style.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Midwest is very mayo-y and creamy, whereas like I think it's North Carolina is very vinegary and it almost tastes like a salad and everything's very crisp.
Mhm.
That's the
Oh yeah,
coleslaw I
Carolina
fuck with.
barbecue is mustard and vinegar.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do not fuck with the Midwest
I
coleslaw. I actually
like
ask
a
when I go to
middle.
restaurants. I feel like a bitch.
Like it's the same thing with barbecue sauces, right? I hate super vinegary based barbecue sauces and hot sauces.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that shit.
I
I
think
was
it
about
pulls
to say
away.
maybe that's just a different because I really love hot sauces and I think vinegar-based hot sauces are better.
So like,
So
do you
maybe
like
it's just
Tabasco?
Tabasco's okay. It's not my choice. Cholula's probably my favorite.
Yeah, like I like Cholula, I like Tapatio. Like all of those are good. I
Yeah.
think Tabasco is just so punch in your face
Yeah.
vinegar that like
think
it sucks.
Frank's Red, I think, is the best vinegar
Hmm.
content.
Like I can eat all
I'm
of
a fan.
those.
And you guys know I don't like hot sauce, and Frank's Red is something that I actually really
Yeah.
enjoy.
No.
It's also
I mean,
like
Frank's Red just adds the acidity that a lot of people crave.
Yeah.
But back to Dev's sandwich. I think you have to really talk about what kind of sandwich you're making to really answer all these questions.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Like when you make it a Cuban. But I've actually, you can ask Sam, dude. I've had this list of my favorite sandwiches for a while now, and I update it every once in a while. But they're all very different, man. Sandwiches are not just a sandwich.
True.
I think the croque madame is not getting enough love recently.
The what?
Croque madame.
What is that?
Do tell.
It's a French sandwich with. It's basically just a broiled ham and cheese
It's very tasty.
Okay.
with bechamel and a fried egg.
Ooh.
I do like bechamel.
Yeah. So it,
What's
I'm a
croque
huge
monsieur means
proponent of
Mr.
eggs
Crunchy,
on sandwiches.
I am too.
Big fan of that.
and when you add an egg, it becomes a madame.
What's the one with essentially French toast and it's cheese?
That's a Monte Cristo.
Yeah, Monte Cristos are fucking fire.
Is that the one with Thousand Island? Or the-
No.
That's a
No,
Reuben.
that's a Reuben.
Wait.
Dude,
Okay, copy.
Reubens are delicious.
Reubens
Reubens
are
are
very good.
amazing.
The one problem
corned
I
beef.
have.
Really easy to get a bad
Sandwich
Reuben,
as
though.
well.
Yeah.
I prefer Cubans, I think. Cubans are probably my favorite.
Have you ever had this problem when you're eating, like, for me it's usually Reubens, but they toast the bread that, like, when you take a bite, the bread is so sharp it just gets, like, lodged into your gums, and it feels like
Oh,
you're getting
yes.
cut with glass. Dude, I fucking
Not-
hate that shit. I might just
Not
have
with
really
sandwiches,
soft
but it is
gums.
the worst.
It also depends on if they're using hard bread, like country bread.
Yeah. I've gotten a little lazy with cooking recently, and I'm trying to get back into it.
Dude, I've had Pop Tarts and ramen for like 3 years straight. I'm
Dude,
so
did you
serious.
try the dry ramen thing?
No, that's fucking nasty.
Dude, try it.
Eating ramen noodles.
No, they eat raw. They cook the ramens and then just get rid of all of the broth. And they're telling
Oh,
me it's
so it's
better.
like pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
probably
it's just
run off
pasta.
half my broth.
I would never run off all of it. Yeah, that sounds just not.
Oh, it's so good, bro.
I like
So
a little
good.
bit.
I do like making my own broth though, by just like throwing in some fucking teriyaki soy sauce, some Worcestershire.
What?
you also-
South
you
Park
also need-
after?
You need more than that. Do you throw that into the water, or are you telling me you just use those 3 things?
I like so once I drain it, right? I just give a couple of those like splashes to the dry, quote quote dry noodles, and then mix it up.
Mm,
They're not
and that's,
really dry.
Yeah, I like
They're
to
not,
have
yeah.
a base.
There's got to be something. Yeah, you can't just throw all that shit in without a face.
I will make ramen noodles for you one day, and you'll go
Except you
eat
live
it.
very far away from me.
Yeah, you keep saying
would
you
Able
want
love
to
to
come
that.
here.
sell ramen broth.
Yeah, and you never answer, bro. I've been asking if I can come over, and you're just like, I've just been trying to be friends in real life.
Hey, we've been being really good virtual friends.
We have, because it's a pandemic.
have been
you have
keeping
to
this
talk
up.
to me.
Yeah.
So they sell ramen broth at Kroger. It's like under the chicken stock.
Oh, really?
I was picking up chicken stock. And I was like, oh, this looks really cool. Like, I'm going to make my own ramen. So I got fucking rice noodles and Midori and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
Really good. I was like, oh, great. And the broth was ass. It was so bad. I was like, this is bullshit.
I think if you want something like that, you gotta go to Jungle Gyms, dude.
Or I just have to buy pig's feet, make it myself.
Yeah, not bad. I've been looking for a butcher because I want to get like pork shoulder or pork butt
Yeah.
and some other
Mhm,
stuff,
mhm.
but like you can't really find it at the grocery store or like Whole Foods, you know.
Yeah.
Aren't you in Harlem?
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Probably a lot around you, buddy.
I
Do you
did-
think you're in a cultural
He
epicenter?
hasn't been looking
Yeah.
very.
Would you?
I haven't been
Huh?
looking really hard, but I did find one the other day
I
while
was
I
like,
was on
you
a walk.
probably.
You probably live above a butcher shop.
I just can't find one.
All right,
No,
it's
no, no,
fine.
no. All right.
It's
I
fine.
would love to get back to your overstuffing sandwiches because
Oh, yeah.
I have that problem with any serve your own Mexican. So like any Chipotle or like Qdoba style, like here's a tortilla and here's like rice, beans, protein, and then like all the way down the line.
Yeah.
I
you want, yeah.
always constantly overstuff my burrito.
You're supposed to. At Chipotle, you're supposed
Yeah.
to. It's okay.
That's how you
That
get
is
your
why
money's
you increase
worth.
the bowl.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
But
That's okay.
what I have found when ordering online, they have like a double wrap your burrito option.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Dude, do that shit
someone-
every time.
Bro, as someone who worked at Chipotle, I'll hook you up with the fucking secrets, bro. Always double wrap. You get way more full. It's the move. You guys ever heard of a quesarito?
Yeah.
yes.
They have
Did
it
you
at
know-
Taco Bell.
Yeah, did you know some Chipotles will do it for you? It's not on the menu, and if they're not busy, they might do it. But it is
Yeah, they
fucking,
groan every time you
it
ask.
is fucking incredible. But it is hard to make. As
I
someone who
hear
worked there, I'm
rumor
sorry
that
to all the Chipotle.
Chipotle has queso now, like a good
They
queso
do.
blanco.
Well,
it's not
not
good.
great.
it's not good for chips,
Cool,
but it's
great.
good for when you put on like a burrito.
That
I will say
allows me
that.
to continue to dislike Chipotle.
No.
You don't like Chipotle?
No, I've never liked
Oh,
Chipotle.
I love
So
Chipotle.
Ben, is your problem at the restaurant or is it at home?
No, I'm talking like the classic catering. Like they just send you the metal trays full of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So
like
you're
not when you're in line. I'm talking about like it's a long Sunday at a tech or something, and
Yeah.
somebody's ordering
Yeah.
catering.
yeah.
And I have never been able to successfully fill a burrito with the correct amount.
Bro, think a serving spoonful of everything, every ingredient. Do like a 1-to-1 ratio of everything.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
look like a pile that you would put on your plate,
Yeah, I think that's
like a Thanksgiving or whatever. Think more like the burrito is the entire thing and it all needs to
Mhm.
fit in there.
hmm
You can also, the ratio for drilling holes in metal?
yeah. That-
Use that same thing for making a burrito. So the diameter of your pile needs to be the diameter, about its
Away from
diameter
the
away
edge.
from the edge of the tortilla.
Do it. I
Make
mean,
it as tall as you
that's
want.
brilliant. I love
make
it.
it tall in the center, and then you can smash
Yeah.
it with your hand when you start rolling. You want to stack everything up in the
the worst burrito rollers that I've ever seen, no offense, have come from Chipotle.
Yeah,
Mm.
no,
Yo,
dude.
mix my shit up.
Oh
like
my
it.
gosh. No. Can I call out Poncheros for a minute? Poncheros is a restaurant
is
that I went to for the first time in
Aren't you a Poncheros
Fargo.
fanboy?
I'm a huge Poncheros fanboy. I only had it in Fargo, North Dakota when I was there. But they they make your tortillas on the spot. So they grab dough and they put it in the tortilla press and you
Yeah.
get fresh tortilla. And then at the end, after you've done everything, they mix it up. Like they have like their signature. I assume it's like trademarked or something because it has their logo and everything on it. Like the mixer upper. So they mix all
Salad
the
tongs?
ingredients together. No, it's like a. It's
They don't
almost.
just use
It's
two
like a
forks?
burrito putty knife, essentially.
Okay.
They don't
they
just
mix
use
everything
two
together.
forks?
I
You
was
can ask them
thinking,
to do that at Chipotle too. They do that pretty
No,
regularly.
Yeah,
but it's just
but they
like
always
part of the
sigh.
process.
Yeah, it
It's
should
always
be.
part of the process at Poncheros. That is what they do. That is how they operate. It is not an extra step. It is part of the process.
To tell me why Pancheros isn't as successful as Chipotle.
I don't know.
I'm just
Because
kidding.
Chipotle is owned by the McDonald's Corporation.
Yeah,
Are
you're
they
right.
really? I did not
they
know that.
were. I think they got sold back to the owner. The owner dude wanted to like get out of Chipotle. Chipotle is also a cult. I will say, once you work at Chipotle, they kind of drag you in. They're one of those like places that are like, we have so much opportunity. Why do you want to leave? They try to convince me to go to college and stay there and work as a construction transfer into a construction role at the Chipotle Corporation because Chipotle does everything itself. Chipotle has a construction branch that builds all of its own restaurants and an architect branch that designs all of its own restaurants. It's very weird. It's very culty actually.
That's pretty
It's kinda
crazy.
creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. I actually met a dude. I was at. You guys know what local cantina is? Is that the thing elsewhere?
Nope.
It's not
Never heard of
Columbus.
that.
I
Oh
don't
well,
think
it's this
so.
awesome taco place in Columbus. It's like a chain taco place, but it's really cool. And I was talking to one of the servers there, and he's like, "Yeah, I used to work at Chipotle," and I was like, "I did too." And we ended up having like a 45-minute bitch session. They like brainwash you and make you learn all of these like tenets of working there and shit, and like all of the
I learned
managers.
lots of acronyms.
Yeah, lots of acronyms. They actually just got, they're in a lawsuit right now because they would ask people to clock out when closing to make their numbers look better. The sanitation process of Chipotle is fucking insane. It takes like probably 2 or 3 hours to close every night, but they only give you an hour to close every night. And at the end of that hour, my boss all the time would walk up to me and be like, "Do you mind clocking out so our numbers look better? Like, it would really,
That's
benefit
insane.
us."
Asking your
Hey, man, you
employees to
wanna
get
work for
paid
free?
less money so management looks better.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
unreal.
They're getting the shit suit out of them for it right now.
But like, also, if it takes that long to sanitize, why does Chipotle always have fucking health issues? What was it, fucking
Their
E.
food is
coli or some
fresh and
shit?
locally sourced.
There was actually a bunch of talk. They kind of made it sound like tinfoil hat, but you know Moe's.
Welcome to Moe's.
There was this weird conspiracy theory that
Like on The
people,
Simpsons?
huh? No, Moe's Moe's Southwest Grill. It's like a Chipotle competitor in the Midwest. Is
Oh,
that
okay.
also not in places?
Yeah, we got him out here.
Yeah, I've
Cool.
never heard of it.
Yeah, it's like a Chipotle competitor. Apparently paid a couple people to say that they're sick and have problems and shit.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know how far that
I
carries,
say.
but yeah, I don't. That's just as a former brainwashed Chipotle employee, that's what I'm told. So take that with a very thin grain of salt.
I just wanted to comment on Ben's burrito mixer machine.
Mhm.
When you said that, I was thinking about like a metal spider with claws, like some shit out of Spy Kids, like the original,
Yeah!
that like spun around and like mixed your burrito and
No,
folded
it's
it
just
for
like
you.
a putty knife.
Yeah,
That's big Spy
but
Kids energy.
Ooh, I
Dude.
will say I was probably very I was certainly very biased due to the fact that if you showed them your college ID, you got a drink for free.
Whoa.
It was like a night. It was
Those?
like at Poncheros, the best Southwest fake Tex-Mex that you can get in America.
You started with
Okay.
the best. I was like, oh god, this is gonna start a fight, and then it just like worse. Okay, we're
Slowly
good. We're
went
good.
And big Texas Dev over here.
How is Chewy's doing?
What is
Chewy's does not sound good to me. There's one Chewy's at Easton. If anybody listening, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. If you can't tell, I've mentioned it like 3 times already. And it's and Easton is this huge ass shopping center. It actually got voted like the #1 shopping experience in America, I think like last year. And it's fucking crazy. It's privately owned. So the streets and like everything is really, really pristine and nice. It's owned by the Wexner family, who also owns the convention center. And it's weird because the security there is different. I had a friend who worked at Macy's, and he worked at a Macy's at a different mall. They were like, you can't touch anybody that's stealing. You can't do anything to these people. Like, just try and find their license plate. Remember any descriptive factors. But then he got a job at the Macy's at Easton, which is privately owned, and since it's on private property, they were like, if you see someone stealing, throw them to the ground, stop them. Like, this is private property. Put your fucking hands on them. This is what I'm paying you to do. Like,
Yeah.
Interesting.
it was fucking crazy. But because of that, it's actually also surrounded by a bunch of really horrible neighborhoods. So a bunch of crazy shit happens there a lot. But not horrible neighborhoods, just a lot of, bad shit happens there. And there's a Chewy's there, and it just doesn't seem appealing, dude. It seems like the Boca de Beppo of Tex-Mex, which already isn't that appealing.
I do like their creamy jalapeno dip. That's what inspired mine.
I was mistaken when I was saying Chewy's. I was trying to say Fuzzies.
Oh, Fuzzies is
Oh, the one
trash.
near campus?
Yeah,
Fuzzies is trash. I fucking
Yeah,
hate
it's pretty
Fuzzies
trash.
too.
What?
it's expensive, right?
No, it's
No.
cheap as hell. The food is just not good at all.
Yeah, and
There's
there's like
certain
big
things that
drinks.
Huh?
There were certain things that were worth it. But
Their drinks are the only thing there that I'm like, okay, yeah, I buy this regularly. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And like I like the idea of a breakfast burrito.
But I don't like the way they do it.
Yeah, I could get better results myself.
It literally,
Yeah.
the food they taste tastes like, some dude in a apartment in the Verge is dropping off food down there. And
You know what though? I had to walk up that hill every day, and right before a load-in or a strike, I'd be like, "Damn, this is like the only place that's open. I won't get a
Yeah.
fucking
we
burrito."
went. They were open early. We went.
I never got
Maddie
to.
Kevelson
Sorry, go ahead.
worked there. Maddie Kevelson worked there, and she literally saw people in the kitchen drop food, pick it back up, and throw it back on the burritos and shit. And laugh about it and shit. And she also worked there for like 5 weeks and didn't get paid.
That sucks.
Maybe not 5 weeks. I don't know how long, but she worked there for a very, very long. Didn't get paid. Are we allowed to talk about corporations like this? Are we like any sort of? I guess
We're not
literally-
monetized.
No.
Probably literally no one is listening, anyways. I think maybe. Hello.
Pop off in the chat if you're here.
Papa, can you hear me? I wanted to talk about another food thing. When you caramelize onions, do you add sugar or do you just wait?
You don't add sugar. Actually, caramelizing onions takes like 45 minutes. Don't do what you think. You just wait.
I mean, I do both because I'm a very impatient person. So
You
I'll like
shouldn't.
brown them, get them translucent, put a little sugar on there.
No,
I
if
think
you're
it takes
really,
away from the richness that you get.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
if you are really trying to caramelize something, throw those onions in there for like 45 minutes, and halfway through, throw in like a whole ass stick of butter
yeah. I'm not saying
and
I'm
I'll
just
not
add
let it
saying
cook.
it's
butter.
right. I'm not saying it's
It's
right.
red wine.
I'm just saying I'm fucking lazy and I want my onions now.
Onion actually is one of the sweetest vegetables when you cook it down. So when you add sugar, you're adding just fake,
More sweetness.
yeah, more
Yeah.
sweetness and faker shit. Whereas if you let the onions actually cook down for how they're supposed to, you find that they're very sweet. And it's also very important to deglaze the pan after you're
Yes,
done caramelizing.
If you
always
use
deglaze your
balsamic vinegar,
pan.
Yeah,
if you deglaze with balsamic, you end up with this like rich, jammy mixture that is delicious.
I've been putting beer in everything I cook lately.
What kind of beer? Just like a light beer or?
Yeah, usually light beer. I've been having Budweiser right now. You don't ever want like any too hoppy or like IPA. Just like
Yeah.
literally a Miller Lite, a Bud Light, like something very light. I've been using Budweiser because that's what I have, but just anything
I
very
use Guinness if I'm gonna cook something for a while.
It always depends, right?
yeah.
Because I made a Guinness stew, like a beef stew with carrots, celery, beef beef chunks, and all that, and that turned out fantastic with the Guinness. But I also did like an Italian sausage with onions and like peppers and stuff, and I just put a Coors in it because I had a spare Coors that I wasn't gonna drink, and that
Yeah.
turned out great. So
Do you guys like Coors?
I love Coors, dude.
Really?
Ask anyone at CCM, bro. I brought Coors to CCM, man.
He is the
Uh,
Coors guy.
I am the Coors guy.
I had like
Nah,
one or
Coors is
two.
alive.
I can't. I can't, dude. It's so watery, no flavor. Oh, Sam, how do you go about making like a balsamic vinegar reduction that you put like on top of a salad or
If I'm gonna make like a glaze,
Mhm.
you basically just want to cook water out of balsamic vinegar, but that's something where you could add sugar if you wanted to, because it itself will sort of thicken.
Mhm.
Um, but a lot of time, if you want something to go on top of salad, you're mixing balsamic vinegar with oil.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
Yeah, so
I've seen
almost
like sorry, go ahead.
so like honestly, buy the bottle of balsamic vinaigrette at Kroger,
Yeah.
or I don't know if you have Kroger there, but buy it at the grocery store. If it tastes good, use it.
Mhm.
Then read the ingredients and see what else is in there that you like, and maybe try to isolate that yourself. Because a vinaigrette just means oil and vinegar shaken together.
Yeah. Cuz I've always seen like balsamic as like a plate decorative or like on top of not steak. I don't think I've seen it on steak, but like on top of salad and it's like super sweet. It's like balsamic
Yep.
naturally sweet.
It has sweet characteristics,
Okay.
and the point of a reduction is it's like caramelizing it.
Okay. Okay.
Usually, like that balsamic glaze, that balsamic reduction has sugar added to it to make it real thick
Okay.
and gooey.
Okay. Okay.
So I think it's good. It's not my favorite flavor in the world. I prefer like balsamic or red wine vinegar to stand on its own.
Mhm.
I'm not too into like glazes like that.
Yeah.
But again, everyone tastes differently. So if you like something, eat it, learn about it, isolate what you like. That's what I do. I just find
Yeah.
things that are tasty.
I actually just watched this really interesting show. I watch like so many fucking cooking shows on Netflix, dude. Like that's pretty much solely what I watch on Netflix now. And I found one that was pretty interesting that they were just talking about how the Western world hates one of the most popular flavors in the world, like the rest of the world. Like America hates the flavor of fermentation,
Oh, yeah.
whereas so many other countries in the world not heavily rely on, but like kimchi. What's that black vinegar? just there's so much shit that is fermented that America just does
I
not like for
think
some reason.
I think black garlic is
Fermented,
fermented.
yeah.
Yep. Black garlic is
Um,
for
kombucha is fermented.
Yeah. It's just interesting.
There's
I
a bunch
think
of stuff, and it's so easy too, right? You just put
Yeah.
the shit you want: water, salt, sugar, and
I do love kimchi. I actually want to make some.
my brother actually just made kimchi.
Really? I
Yeah.
always forget you
Yeah.
have a brother.
Yeah. He's in Morocco, living his best life.
Holy shit, you are actually the second friend I have that has a sibling living in Morocco. That's insane.
Really? Wait.
Yeah, shout out. Huh?
What are they doing in Morocco?
My friend actually, his name's Sekou. His name's Sekou Konde. He is a beautiful, beautiful man. This dude could be a model. He's half black, half Chinese. He is very visually unique. He is on top of that one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. I think it was Yale actually. You know how schools do shady shit to get students they want.
Yeah.
He took his practice SAT his sophomore year of high school because you can't take it your sophomore year of high school. Yale found his score and tried to offer him a scholarship, but you can't offer them a scholarship as a sophomore. But they like contacted him or like try to come. He got offers from like 6 Ivy League schools. He goes to Princeton, I think now,
That's
for
fucking wild.
for creative writing. Yeah, and his sister is like
Interesting.
his sister's like a medical doctor and doing something crazy in fucking Morocco. But he's cool as fuck, dude. I remember me and him went to this restaurant called Ming Flower in Columbus. It's Chinese. It's a very, very authentic Chinese restaurant. And I walked in first and said hey, and he can speak Cantonese. And we walked into the restaurant. They handed me a menu, and Sekou said hi to them in Cantonese and started a little conversation. They handed him a whole ass separate menu with half the price and double the shit. I was like, what the fuck, dude? We got like free tea at the table and shit too, which had never happened to me before.
Oh hell yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah,
Honestly,
shout out to
dude,
Sekou Konde. Hope you're doing okay, buddy.
I love Japanese culture for sure because first of all, like, dude, you should drink tea with like every meal. It's so
Yeah,
nice. It
I
settles
do
your
like tea.
stomach. Ugh. But also like their food. I think Japanese and Korean food is one of my favorite.
What's your favorite genre of food, dude? That's one of my favorite questions to ask people.
What's your favorite genre of food?
I think Mexican, dude. I really like Mexican food.
I think Mexican food to me is like my soul food because
Yeah,
growing up in Texas, it's like that's what we would go out and get. Like Ben, you were
yeah,
saying they made fresh tortillas at that one place in
Mhm.
Texas. They had it's called Mama Rosa's Cafe, I think,
yeah,
if I'm remembering that correctly. But it was also a tortilla factory. Each location was a tortilla factory, so you could
yeah.
go there, get like 20 fresh tortillas, and just fucking chow, dude. It was so good.
Holy shit. I also
oh,
love Thai food. Thai food
Ooh,
is fucking delicious.
dude, have you had Penang curry?
I have not.
It is one of my favorite curries ever. But
Okay. I think I remember you getting that at Krishna, didn't you?
you can't get it at
like
Krishna,
Thai
but
Express.
yeah, Thai Express.
What
Um,
you got some kind of curry at Krishna, I remember that, but I haven't heard anyone else yet. Dang.
sog.
You no.
I either got sog or chicken tikka or korma.
Uh,
Nothing like too off
I
the
don't remember what
rails.
it was. Oh shit.
I always got Vish to order my food because they made it more dank.
They do make it better. Dev said that to me once. I was like, I don't believe you. Then he food my food, and I got the regular 4 that I normally get, and it literally soul was burning for weeks, dude.
It's
They make it
true, man.
spicier.
There was one person, I forget who it was, but they were like they used to go into those restaurants and be like, give me your spiciest meal. And they're like, no, you don't want it. And they're like, no. Like make
want
That's
it.
Palmer.
the spiciest thing. They're like, and I think a comedian did a joke on it. They're like, do you want regular spicy or like Indian spicy? They're
Yeah,
like,
you want white people spicy?
Yeah.
oh,
I like that we started about food. The Backstaged podcast. Welcome to food.
yeah, dude.
What is
I'm
the
down to
best?
just talk
I
about
mean,
food.
we could go back. Yeah, I literally food. We can kind of tie this all in. What is the best thing you've had catered? Is there anything that you get hyped about? because you guys have both worked some gigs that have probably been
Catering?
shitty.
I've had
Yeah.
some really bad catering.
I've
Yeah.
also had some really bad catering, but I've
I
had
have
some
way
really good
more
catering.
catering, like gross stories than good stories.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, the last
The
place that I
sentiment.
got catered was a brand new. It was a brand new facility, trying to rival what we have in Rock Lidditz, and one, it doesn't match up. Two, their catering promised. There were so many people who were vegetarian and vegan on the crew,
Yeah.
and that was stipulated in the contract that we were supposed to have, all that stuff available. And the only thing that was available for the entire time I was there, which was a week, was a basic salad. The same basic salad day after
Oh
day.
Every time.
no.
Yep.
Jesus.
There was no other vegan or vegetarian option other than that basic salad.
How do people who run businesses expect that to fly?
I have no clue. And like
It's
our
usually an
our
afterthought when you
people
don't
yelled
care
at
about
them
people.
every day, and nothing changed. Yeah, it was a mess.
Probably because they already bought all the shit for it, and they're like, "Yeah, we ain't gonna budge," you know.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of feeding all of these people, we're just gonna not budge.
I will say, the catering that I had when I was loading in Queen at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly, the catering there for the crew was great. Tons of stuff available. Like they had the make your own sandwich bar down on the ends, but at
Oh,
every
yeah.
meal, like full on, like good protein, good vegetarian option. Usually a potato dish. It was all really, really good.
Nice.
So, I think the worst catering I've had was there's two specifically. Once for lunch, it was just like a bunch of half-warm Jimmy John sandwiches, but like everything was on it. So like people were like, "Dude, I'm not eating this shit with mayo," and like stuff like that's
warm
like,
lettuce and mayo. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, the
everyone's
pre-made
like,
Besides,
sandwiches
that
are-
soaks into the bread, and like that's
Yeah.
no good.
so everyone's like, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna walk somewhere and get something because we're in Chicago." And then the other bad one is like the tour I was on it wasn't like the most gigantic tour, so most of the time we were getting catering from like Bob Evans and
Dude,
like
I fuck
Denny's
with
and
Bob Evans. That's okay.
bro, but when you have Bob Evans every single
Every
day,
day.
yo,
Yeah, that's fair.
it gets old. Like we were like, can we please get Chick-fil-A for after show food? And they're like, yeah. We're like, oh my god, yes.
Yes.
But the best times on tour when we were getting like catering was home cooked meals by whoever was like in the churches, like the moms of
Oh,
the
that's great.
churches. Bro, I've had some of the best
That
food.
Jesus cooking.
Oh, dude, this one lady made this. She called it crack chicken, but it was chicken. Each.
Is that how they get you?
Dude,
I've heard of cracked
honestly,
chicken, I feel like, but that might also
honestly,
just
it's
be
so good.
Family tasty recipe.
But it's like each thing of chicken, each chicken breast gets one stick of butter per chicken breast.
Oh my god.
And
That's
then it
excessive.
is rolled in Ritz crackers and then buttered over again. So when you eat this thing, it's like butter infused and crunchy. It is, oh my god. It was so good. And we
Jesus.
ate way
Ritz
too
crackers
much of it.
already have half butter anyway.
Yeah, I was
I
about to
know.
say.
Those are really greasy.
Oh, my mouth's drooling right now. I can't tell you that.
Jesus.
But then some of the best catering is there's one company in Chicago that does most of the major catering for festivals. Like what's that island? It's like a festival island thing in Chicago. Fuck.
Oh, dude. It's right in downtown, right?
Yeah. It's like right
You
on
want
the
to
other
know
side.
something fucking crazy?
What?
I think so. I may be incorrect on this, but I was going for a job at Chicago Scenic before this, and I was just looking up their company. They used to own that island, and it was like worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. But the dude who owned Chicago Scenic was like, "No, man, this is like, I'm not gonna sell this to you."
Yeah.
And he eventually did for just a boatload of fucking money. And now that's where they do that stuff. But that used to be a seed shop.
Wow.
That's so funny because there are like warehouses down there
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
What is it called? Chicago Festival Island.
I might be wrong too. I know they just used to have an
Northerly Island. That's what it's called.
cool. I have no clue, but
Sorry, but the catering company that does that and most of the like arena shows, it's the same people, and they have been consistently good, and I thank them so much for it, because it's like you go in there and they have usually one or two proteins and then salads and veggies, right? But they're all seasoned well. They got the sandwich bar. They have a coffee station. They have fucking fridges full of soda. They got dessert sections. And the best part is, for when you're working at outdoor festivals, you may not think about it, but the best part about catering is ice cream. You get ice cream bars every time you walk into that
so
fucking tent. And they
yeah.
never close that fucking fridge either. And they're like, yeah, just come and get ice cream. But yeah, you always go in, grab an ice cream bar, walk out. It's so good.
I love Klondike bars, dude, but they're so expensive. They're not worth it for my broke life right now. But if I could
Man,
have a Klondike bar anytime I was working,
Do
For
love
me,
it.
it's a
so good.
popsicle.
really?
Like, not only because I can't eat dairy, but there's something so refreshing about like working outside for a while and then eating a popsicle.
Oh yeah. And the other really good catering I've had was uh, Lollapalooza in Chicago, because their catering was
Interesting.
top notch bougie. Bro, they had cold brew coffee stations in catering, like a fucking ice cream bar. They had a fucking, it was all
The,
vegan food too, which I was like, I don't really, and then you take a bite and you're like, holy
Oh,
shit,
okay.
I didn't know it could be this good.
the thing
That's
that
really
pisses me
interesting.
off oh,
Oh, good.
is when companies have a fuck ton of money. Like I know Lollapalooza has a bunch of money, and if they would have gotten you like warm slider sandwiches, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I don't know.
I
Well, see, I find so I did Austin City Limits, and the crew was the same as Lollapalooza in Chicago, but clearly their catering was not, because the catering there was not good. Yeah. Now they had a cool system where like they had like a wristband ID system, so if you were with the band, there was like an RFID chip in all your wristbands, and that's how you got catering, and that's how you
Got
got
better
like
food.
into
yeah.
certain sections of the park that were closed off to like only artists or only the crew and the staff and all that. Um, but yeah, the catering there was not too great.
I've definitely been to those gigs where you show up and there's just like a loaf of bread, some sandwich meat, and peanut butter, and you're like, I'm gonna go hungry. Thanks, I
That's
Yeah.
appreciate.
catering in two sets of quotes.
Yeah, I was like, I appreciate your effort. Not really, but I'm just gonna
In
go over here.
in Aspen, when they would do Jazz Aspen, that's when like I worked with Earth, Wind and Fire. Shit is essentially a local. They had one catering lady who did all of her shit. She was awesome, but she like I think she cooked in the back of her truck. Like she had like a little oven and a little grill and shit. And like we gave her an electrical hookup and shit, and she cooked all of it and went to the grocery store that day. Took requests from the artists, like would walk up to them. She was like, "I read your rider, but I just want to make sure. Like, is there anything else you want? Like, I'm about to go to the store. Like, seriously, you want a candy bar or anything?" And
Yes.
she would do that for everybody too, like even the crew. If you were friends with her, I would always like if I wasn't doing a bunch of shit that day, I would go to the grocery store with her. And, I think the weirdest fucking thing that was requested was Earth, Wind, and Fire gets ginger shots, dude. Have you ever heard of a ginger shot?
Yeah, dude,
No.
it's
Insane. So what you do is, Ben, you get like 10 pounds of ginger, like an ungodly amount of. You cut it
That is
all
a
up.
significant amount of ginger.
Yeah, you peel it, cut it all up into really rough hunks, throw it in a crock pot, and let it sit for like 4 or 5 hours. And you just get this ginger infused water, and you take a shot of it, dude, and it literally sends all of the blood rushing to your face. It's
yeah.
insane. I've never felt anything like it. Opens up your sinuses and all of the blood's like it's insane.
That's wild.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be really good for you because I think it's a immunity booster
Yeah.
and
Ginger is an
whatever.
antioxidant.
Yeah, and a lot of people I know either take it when they're like feeling like not down but like starting to get sick, especially if they're working, dude. They'll get one and start their day off so they can keep going for the following days to come. But
The other crazy part. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
it's the most it's not it's the strongest flavor you'll ever experience, I think.
Ginger?
Yeah,
The ginger shots.
a ginger
specifically,
shot
they're very
specifically.
Got
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
had a
intense.
ton of experience with ginger, like even on its own.
We used to make our own ginger
It's
syrup
just
when I was
such a
working at the.
it's just such a strong flavor profile.
Oh yeah, but it's good. It's
I
really
was
good.
working at the restaurant. We would have to do about that same amount of ginger, and would make our own syrup in a similar fashion. We'd be betting each other who could take more ginger shots.
Ugh.
But I also knew that peeling ginger was the best job of the day because it took like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to peel.
I usually use a spoon to peel it.
Yep. Heck of
Because
a spoon.
the skin just comes off real easy. You just gotta get it there.
The problem is it's like it fucks up my hands. Even with gloves on, I was like tingly.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Just all that ginger juice on you. It's
Oh.
weirdly acidic.
Oh, it's like pineapple, dude. Pineapple fights back when you try and eat it.
It's true.
So, two things. Do you know why they serve pineapple with a lot of seafood?
Why?
Because they just grow near each other.
That, but also pineapple is supposed to settle your stomach, especially when you're eating seafood, so it kind of prevents food poisoning.
I don't think I've ever had seafood and pineapple together, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah. I don't eat a lot of seafood though, so that's probably it.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like a halibut berry?
No.
You like take a big ass fish and just throw a bunch of shit in foil and then bury it on the beach and throw like coals over it?
Oh, I've seen it done. I've never had it.
That sounds wild.
I
Pretty
actually
fun.
just watched another fucking cooking show where there's this group of people in Australia who it's the indigenous people of Australia. What? Oh shit.
Aboriginals.
Yeah, Aboriginals. It's a certain subsection of Aboriginals. They like live very normal lives, but then every single weekend they go out and survive in the bush. They bring their entire family, no matter how old or young, like 100 years old or 1 year old. They'll go out and survive and hunt in the bush for the entire weekend and only bring the clothes on their back. And they say it just like keeps us in touch with our roots. And then they say there's older people who are like, yeah, this is my medicine. I stop taking my medicine when I come out here and I feel better.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm supposed to take medicine for all of my arthritis and shit, but when I come out to the bush, I run and sprint and chase animals and hunt them, and I feel better than I do any other time. And it's just weird.
I was
Wild.
telling Sam
Yeah.
the other day when we walked down to Times Square and back to our house. It was 11 miles. And I turned to her and I'm like, "Do you know that like humans used to just run for hundreds of miles without stopping and like chasing down fucking animals, and like that's how we used to hunt."
Dude, I have now two stories. I forget the first one. So here's the second one. I just immediately forgot the first one. Oh, oh shit, what was that dude's name? Geronimo, the Native American? Have you read
There
about
was
him?
Geronimo.
No.
Yeah, have you read about him? He was like the last Apache. He's like famous for like holding out against the white man and being on the run and everything. Run on their camps and shit. But the last 2 weeks of him being chased down, he was being chased by a group of guys on horses, and it was him, children, and like women, and they would run every single day 90 miles and outrun horses every
That's
single
So
day for 2 weeks. And then he finally was like, "This isn't sustainable. I need to give up." Like,
that's
it's
wild.
insane. Yeah,
I would love to hear how far away they started to begin with. But
yeah. I'm
there is a
looking up the.
podcast. So there's a podcast that I listened to about a week ago. Radio Lab is a fantastic podcast that you guys should all listen to, and everybody listening, if anyone is listening, should listen to. But a podcast that I recently listened to was called Man versus Horse, and it started out.
Sounds a little gay.
It started out with these guys, like it was a bar bet. It was like I could beat your horse in a race. Like your horse sucks. Like I could beat your horse in a race. And they did it, and it's been a thing year after year after year where like marathon runners will run. I forget how long it is. It's an obscene distance. And they will run against horses, and it's not a it's a distance race. And so the idea is that horses can't sweat, so they can like run really fast, but they have to like take breaks. But humans have the ability to sweat, so if they take it like at a slow pace, um, maybe they would be able to outrun a horse. And that podcast goes into the science of it, and like they talk about our muscles and why we have butts, and like it's a fantastic podcast that you guys should all listen to.
You guys hear Cole? He's having connection issues.
Yeah, I think I'm back. Hello.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
you're back.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
great. Yeah, I'm looking for the article of Geronimo outrunning horses and shit. It was
Why
crazy.
we have butt?
The
Yeah, why
Apache
do we
Freedom
have
Run.
butts? It's awesome.
While
They
you're
talk about
looking
the
at,
science of buttocks.
while you're looking that up, I'm gonna switch topics real quick.
Yeah.
So, have you
We
heard
are
about
at- when
this?
did we start?
We start at like
10
3:10.
after.
Yeah.
Copy that.
But there's a new trend going around / challenge. It's called a nutmeg challenge.
Oh,
And
God.
you're
Can
supposed
you eat
to.
enough nutmeg to get high?
No,
Mhm.
well, yeah, but if you eat enough
What?
nutmeg, you'll
Yes, you
fucking
can, but it will
die,
also
bro.
kill
Yeah, man. The
So-
nutmeg has hallucinogenic properties if eaten in enough quantities, but it also is toxic and will fucking kill you.
Yeah, like, so the science behind it
toxic if you eat
is,
enough of it.
well, the science behind it is they're supposed to only eat, like, the amounts we put into food is like 0.05%.
So,
And you only need like a tablespoon of nutmeg to kill you. Like, that is dangerous amounts of nutmeg.
Jesus.
And it's
knew?
so funny that we cook with something, right?
the thing
That can literally
thing
kill
that
us.
I read- the thing that I read that makes it really dangerous is it's long lasting, or it takes a long time for it to like get into your system and for you to start feeling effects. So the people have been doing this challenge are like taking a teaspoon or a couple teaspoons, and they're not like feeling anything. So then they up their dose like a lot to like a tablespoon, like really quickly, and that like will really fuck you up.
Once again, do your research.
Also, just don't do stupid internet challenges.
Say why to drugs,
True.
baby.
It's kind of funny though that, like, I don't know, what did we have growing up? We had like the ice bucket challenge and
We had the cinnamon challenge.
the cinnamon challenge,
I do
yeah.
remember this challenge.
But those were so new when we were growing up. Like, no, we didn't really have anything like that before those. At least,
Nothing had that kind of viral power.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now there's, TikTok and shit that, like, there's a new thing every day. But also, I feel like, no offense, people are just, like, stupider.
No,
they're
I
like,
think it's just more visible.
oh, true,
And
true.
it's-
Good
It's a
point.
matter of people want a platform to perform
Mhm.
without being talented.
Yes.
I don't want to get into like higher fucking thinking of art and shit like that. But I find that it's very easy for someone to do what's trendy, even if it's dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
to get that attention that people crave.
Because it's easy. Yeah.
What
I
I
don't have to
also
come up with
think,
something. I just have to dance while walking next to my car.
That's so
What I-
funny, dude. I love those trends when their car starts to run away from them and you just see them sprint. Or someone hits the brake and they just slam into that fucking door, dude. I was like, oh, karma. Yes.
Karma.
Karma.
I
Sorry,
always think
Cole.
it's hilarious how much. No, you're fine. I always think it's hilarious how much shit theater kids get for being theater kids and doing what we do, but then how much of what everything that they do that's popular is like theater shit. I don't know.
It's the
And
weird shit that we would
yeah.
do backstage all the time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a theater kid, but it's just like, dude, you can't make fun of these people when literally TikTok is about you singing. Like, that's what they do professionally. Like, all of the actors you watch in movies and idolize and love were theater kids. I don't know. It's always just been very weird for me.
Yeah, but most of TikTok, you're not even singing.
Exactly.
You're voicing over someone else singing.
people who can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I also found this article about Geronimo that can I read this out loud really quick?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kinda
go for it.
fucking crazy. So I don't know how accurate it is. It's called history.com. So take that with a grain of salt. So On May 17, 1885, Geronimo and some 135 Apache men, women, and children took flight from their reservation for the final time. The famed warrior was then in his 60s, but he remained determined as ever, often pushing his group to cover as much as 70 miles per day to avoid the American cavalry and the Apache scouts on their trip. Over the next several months, Geronimo fugitives raided countless Mexican and American settlements, killing several civilians. They nearly surrendered in March 1886, but Geronimo and 40 of his followers reneged on the agreement at the last minute and escaped under cover of darkness. Soon, the Indians were being pursued by 5,000 U.S. soldiers, nearly a quarter of the standing army at the time, as well as some 3,000 Mexicans. Geronimo was able to elude both forces for over 5 months, but by August, he and his followers had grown very weary of life on the run. On September 4th, 1886, he finally gave himself up to General Nelson Miles at the Skeleton Canyon, Arizona. Laying down his arms, he became the last Indian leader to formally surrender to the United States military.
He was taken down by an Arizona Ranger with a big iron on his hip.
Yeah,
Big iron on his hip.
That's crazy
just
though.
fucking crazy, dude.
70
miles per day.
miles for 5 months.
Insane.
We are not the apex predator that we used to be.
That's
We're just smart.
We are not Apache.
I say this to Sam all the time, dude. You know when you see that like huskier guy do that awkward jog across the intersection?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you make fun of him a little bit, and you're just like, God damn it, bro! Your ancestors used to hunt saber-toothed tiger. Why are you running like that? Like, come on, dude.
Cole, when's the last time you went on a run though?
Dude, never. Exactly.
I was walking up the hill last night.
Yeah, dude, maybe that was the story. Yeah, dude, because of this quarantine, I don't do any physical activity. And walking up the hill from my house up to the school, I literally be without a breath. I was like panting, and I used to do that like,
Every day.
every day, at least 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah. I feel like when we're all gonna get back into this, we're like, oh yeah, I can lift all this shit, and we're gonna go and be like,
Nope.
no, 5
I
months
can't.
really
Can I
did
get-
that to
can
me,
I
huh?
get a
Yeah, like I could hurl plywood over my head and shit. But
Oh.
these days,
These days,
not so much.
I'm not as good as I once was, man. It's a country song.
Right now, my Wasta
Oh, I got
fingers
you,
and my
Cole.
clicker finger
Thank you.
is real good. I tell
Yeah,
you
dude, my
what.
finger string. I tell you what.
What have y'all been playing recently?
Animal Crossing.
Minecraft.
Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
Outer
yeah, I
Worlds.
guess.
By Daylight.
I guess Dead by Daylight is, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was playing Outer Worlds before Animal Crossing dropped.
What's Outer World? I haven't heard of it.
Outer Worlds is made by Obsidian, which are the people who did Fallout New Vegas. It is a It's a space western, I guess is the best way to put it.
Hey, they can't be
RPG?
the only space.
Not to be
western that I'm
confused
looking
with a
for.
spaghetti western.
Yes, not to be confused with an Italian pasta.
Which is totally racist. Who knew?
Yeah.
I've been playing Diablo 3 again, and I just found out that I think it was like a month or two ago they just released the Diablo 4 trailer,
Mhm.
which is pretty exciting. But you guys should watch it. The cutscenes are insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blizzard has always been very good about their cinematics.
It's nuts
Yeah.
to think about where technology is. Like, I showed my grandma this. I think this video of this dude who has like a supercomputer and he was running something on like 4K or something crazy, and he was just walking around this island. And I showed my grandma, and she's like, "Oh, is that someone's vacation video?" And I was like, "Nope."
Grandma,
It's
this
a
is
video game.
digital.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to think because to them, Pong was, the craziest, newest, biggest, baddest thing. But
It's like a game, but you play on TV.
yeah,
Have you heard of Ben? I think you're the only one with the RTX graphics card, right?
No, I don't even have an RTX graphics card. We talking about Minecraft?
No. Well, have
Oh,
you seen that
I am.
shit? Dude, Minecraft and RTX
Yeah, it
is
looks amazing.
insane.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Yeah,
dude,
God.
it looks beautiful.
You should-
Put like a 2048 by 2048 texture on all of your blocks, and then turn on ray tracing, and like Minecraft looks godly.
announcing the
Yeah.
Minecraft with RTX for Windows 10 beta.
Dude,
Going back to
it's
look at that.
insane.
Yeah,
So I
it's
use the
unreal.
32x graphic or texture pack,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and this feels HD to me.
Yeah.
But
I should
48
download some
with
mods
the
for Minecraft.
fucking realistic shaders.
Honestly though, like Minecraft modded out still looks fucking. It can look gorgeous, but ray
Yeah, it looks
tracing is like next
Dude.
level.
What?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
watching, Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The same game that you have been playing.
Can look
This
that way.
this jungle scene.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
With the lights coming in.
like
Yeah.
sploosh.
Big sploosh.
Um, the point I want to touch on though is so basically RTX cards have a little bit of like AI built into the chip itself, like compute module. That's how they get the ray tracing and stuff like that. But they can also be used to uh, basically suppress noise from your mic. So your mic feed goes into the card and it does some like crazy science crap and it kills all of your background noises. It kills like it doesn't kill crying babies, but it kills the noise of crying
Oh
babies.
God.
But like all of your background noise just gets immediately suppressed. And it is some of the best noise suppression you can get on the market right now. It's insane. And like it actually works.
Yeah.
Cole, and that's with the no texture packs. Like that's just the lighting.
Straight up
The game.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how technology has. I think technology has jumped in the past 5 years over.
Well, it's an exponential growth
yeah,
curve, and I
it's
think
all
it's going to continue.
Is it really? Is that the trend? It's
I
just
think so.
exponential.
Yeah, like the more technology you have unlocks more technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, like while you're in college, if you're going for a technical degree, the stuff that they teach you freshman year is obsolete by the time you get to your senior year.
Really?
Yeah.
Or it
did
was
not know
obsolete to begin with, but
That's kind of crazy. I've been thinking, what am I gonna do if this Corona thing continues? I was like, I gotta get a real job probably. Like, what would I do? You know?
Move back to
What would you
Cincinnati,
do?
become a bartender.
Yeah, but if college doesn't come back, there's no point.
What do you mean?
But like, like if college didn't come back, if they like still had people virtual, like I wouldn't be a bartender in Cincinnati.
Why adults don't go to bars?
No.
Hmm.
It's
College
a proven
bars
fact.
are.
Only college kids go to bars.
Proven fact.
those are the people that go to bars. And
But-
restaurant workers.
Yeah. But I was either thinking of becoming a bartender or like an IT specialist. But I have no training in IT whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about though. Like I'm like actually starting to think about that now.
Yeah. Me and Aaron Palmer were talking about it last night. He's like, I don't want to leave the industry, man, but it's nuts. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do? I posted on Reddit, like, hey, people who have been doing this a lot longer than me, I'm about to graduate. Do you have any advice? And I got 2 replies, and both of them were very long. Like, and they both just said like, get the fuck out while you can. There's no shame in it. You haven't really done it professionally yet. Like, you can leave and it's okay. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, God.
I think the good thing that us going to school for and like our profession is it's adaptable. You
Yeah.
know, like
The
we
skills are adaptable.
yeah, like we know how to work.
Not
We have a-
necessarily the education.
No, I'm thinking about like I guess they would be called soft skills that we learned in college, and like through the industry, it's like stress management, time management, how to deal with people is the biggest one I learned. You know, but the other
I
thing
know
is
these are things that some kids just do not have any grasp on too, which is kind of amazing.
yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about.
And you learn that how to handle a new situation all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Because every show or every production is going to be new in some way.
Yeah.
And I think some people don't learn how to adapt and roll with the punches.
Yeah, 100%. There's that, and then there's also like y'all have great carpentry skills. Like y'all know how to make shit. I feel like that in its own sense, and you know how like things work and get put together. which
Yeah.
makes you going into another field that much better. Like as long as it's somewhat in the same.
Construction based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. But like, I think y'all could go to like project managers real quick. You know,
Yeah.
you've managed crews, you've done all that, but
God, I just think I would hate construction management. Having been on construction sites and seeing those like fresh out of college, like got their civil
Construction management
engineering
guys.
degree or whatever, like white shirt, orange vest, like clearly have no or clearly don't have the respect of the crews that they're like leading. Like I would hate my life.
tell me about that because I've never like been a part of that. It's always something that's
So
kind of tickled my mind.
so we were down in Texas, in Dallas, working on like a big outdoor mall style of thing that they were putting a stage on, and for some reason take got contracted to do a thing.
Mhm.
And we would show up every morning as like the outside contractors, and then there were like some on-site grandscape guys that we would work with. That were like your typical like would-be union construction guys if Texas was a more union state.
Mhm.
And all the time kind of overseeing were like
Construction management guys.
construction management guys who were like see, like the one guy that I had the most interaction with was clearly like a fresh out of his like master's degree in like something construction-esque, so he had to have been like 26 27 years old. Clearly did not have a ton of experience of actually doing anything. Was very clipboard-esque, and he was just not a pleasure to work with. And none of us, and you know, this is me having also just gotten out of college, but spent all 4 years and time before that doing, you know, stuff in a shop.
Yeah.
It was just hard to respect the guy.
Well, the shorthand for construction manager is con man because they're faking it.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have a tough time.
Yeah.
I don't think I would enjoy that work.
I've always wanted to, at one point in my life, go into like flipping houses, you know?
Yeah.
Cause like I don't know, I watch a lot of like home improvement stuff, and I always have these plans for this one day dream house I'm gonna build, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta start somewhere. But like flipping houses is a pretty good market if you're good at it, you know?
Right,
Yeah,
but
you can
having no
make a
experience.
shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just a huge risk having no experience and getting in way too far over your head.
But I love home improvement and renovation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think if I owned a house that I was essentially flipping for myself, I would have a much better time.
Yeah, I really
Sure.
I think a goal of mine in my life I've realized in the past couple of years is to get some form of passive income.
Yes.
And I think a really good way of doing that is buying a house, flipping it, and renting it out, or yeah, something like that.
The good thing, I think the one thing that a lot of people struggle with is with flipping houses is they hold on to it for too long. And they like, since you own the house, right, like you can just like sit on it for a while, and like the construction and renovation project can go longer. I think that's where a lot of people get got, is because since they're their own boss, they kind of just like dilly-dally with the project, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I won't pretend to understand the minutia of property.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Cole. Getting a passive income is so important.
That's the way that you keep wealth, you know, in your pocket.
Yeah. Did you guys take a chance and look at that M1 Finance thing I sent the other day?
Nope.
Nope.
You should. I'm telling you, it's so good.
It's the pyramid scheme, right?
It's not a
Yeah, that's the
pyramid scheme. All right.
Upside down funnel.
Yeah, sorry. Did you just throw your headset down?
No.
Oh, I heard like
a. I think we're 10 minutes over. Happy 420, everyone, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's
Oh,
not
Dev, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah,
I got
guys, this whole time has been Dev's birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday, Dev.
Yeah,
You got any plans? Gonna go paint the town red, buddy?
Yeah, totally. I think I'm just gonna get drunk in my apartment.
Yeah.
Town's
I'm
closed.
already halfway there.
All right. Well, thanks for joining the Backstage podcast. We'll be back next Friday at 3 o'clock. Hopefully with the Zach Lippo. I kind of
Sweet.
didn't give him enough time this time, but we're gonna be on top of that. So thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.